most astonishing things.
Oh, and they weren't true.
Listen to this one. He wanted to know what there was about the safe in that desk that caused me such anxiety.
Oh, but there isn't anything, is there?
That's just it. There's a good safe there, but nothing in it.
Well, I wonder what Mr. Holmes thought we had in there.
Perhaps you'll do better next time.
Yes, perhaps you'll try on me next time, Mr. Holmes.
Yes. What do you think of her?
Well, it is very easy to discern one thing about Miss Faulkner, and that is that she is extremely fond of the piano, that her touch is exquisite, her expression wonderful, and her technique extraordinary. While she likes light music well enough, she is extremely fond of Chopin, Liszt, and Brahms. She plays a great deal indeed. I see it as her chief diversion, which makes it all the more remarkable that she has not touched the piano for 3 days.
Isn't that fascinating?
Certainly better than he did for me.
Well, I am glad to somewhat repair my shattered reputation. And as a reward, will Miss Faulkner consent to play me something of which I am particularly fond?
Oh, I would be delighted if I can.
If you can. Something tells me that Chopin's Prelude No. 7 is at your fingers' ends.
Yes, I can give you that.
Please me so much.
Mr. Holmes, I am curious as to how you knew so much about my technique, playing, expression.
Miss Faulkner's hands.
And it is my preference for the composers you mentioned.
The music rack.
Oh, but how simple. But you said I had not touched the piano for 3 days.
And the keys.
The keys.
A light layer of dust.
Dust? Oh dear me, I've never noticed you forgetful before. You must think it was terribly untidy, Mr. Holmes.
Contrary. I can see from many things that you are not untidy in the least, and am therefore compelled to conclude that the failure of Therese is due to something else. To some unusual excitement or disturbance that has recently taken place in this house.
You're very glad, Mr. Holmes, and you deserve the usual that.
Thanks.
What do you do here, Johnson?
I came to see what was wanted, ma'am.
What was wanted?
No one asked you to come.
I beg your pardon, sir. I answered the bell.
What bell?
The drawing room bell, sir.
What do you mean, you blockhead?
What, you're wrong, sir.
I tell you the bell did not ring.
Your butler is right, Mr. Chetwood. The bell did ring.
How do you know?
I rang it.
What do you want?
I wanted to send my card to Miss Faulkner.
What right do you have to ring for servants and keep orders in my house?
And what right have you to prevent my cards from reaching their destination? And how does it happen that you and this woman are resorting to trickery and deceit to prevent me from seeing Alice Faulkner? Through some trifling oversight of judgment, neither of the cards that I handed to you has been delivered. See that this error does not occur again.
My orders, sir.
Oh, you have ordered, I
can't say.
You were told not to deliver my card.
What business is it of yours? I'd like to know.
I should satisfy your curiosity on that point in a very short time.
Yes, and in a very short time you will find it's unsafe to meddle with me. It wouldn't be any trouble at all for me to throw you out into the street.
Quite possibly not. But trouble would swiftly follow such an experiment on your part.
It's a cursed lucky thing for you I'm not armed.
Well, when Miss Faulkner comes down, you can go and arm yourself.
Arm myself. I'll call the police. And what's more, I'll do it now.
You will not do it now. You will stay exactly where you are until the young lady I came to see has entered this room.
What makes you so sure of that?
Because you will infinitely prefer to avoid an investigation of your very suspicious conduct, Mr. James Larry. An investigation will certainly take place if you or your wife presume further to interfere in my business. As for you, my man, it gives me great pleasure to recall the features of an old acquaintance. Your recent connection with the signing of another man's name to a small piece of paper has made your presence a
take up the card. It makes no difference to me.
He gets it down. I can't get it away from her.
If he does, Sid Prince is waiting for him outside.
A short while ago, you displayed an acute anxiety to leave the room. Pray, do not let me detain you any longer.
This is Mr. Holmes.
Yes.
Wish to see me.
Very much indeed, Miss Faulkner, but I regret to see that you are far from well.
No.
No. Beg your pardon. What does this mean?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
And a mark here on the neck, plainly showing the clutch of a man's fingers. Does that mean nothing also? It occurs to me that I should like to have an explanation of this. Possibly you can furnish one, Mr. Larry.
How should I know?
It seems to have occurred in your house.
What if it did? You'd better understand that it's not safe for you or anyone else to interfere in my business.
Darling, it is your business. We have that much at least. Pray, be seated, Miss Faulkner.
I don't know who you are, Mr. Holmes. Why are you here?
I should be very glad to answer that question. As to my identity, you have my name and address, as well as the announcement of my profession, inscribed upon the card, which I observe you still hold clasped tightly in the fingers of your left hand.
Detective.
Quite. And my business is this. I have been consulted as to the possibility of obtaining from you certain letters and other things which are supposed to be in your possession, and which I need hardly tell you are the source of your greatest anxiety.
It's quite true I have such letters, Mr. Holmes. But it will be impossible to get them from me. Others have tried. And failed.
What others have not done, whilst possibly instructive in certain directions, can in no way affect my conduct, Miss Faulkner. I have come to you frankly and directly to beg you to pity and forgive.
There's some things, Mr. Holmes, beyond pity, beyond forgiveness.
But there are other things that are not. I'm able to assure you of the sincere penitence, the deep regret of the one who inflicted the injury, and of his earnest desire to make any reparations in his power.
How can reparation be made to the dead?
How indeed, Miss Faulkner, and by the very same token, any injury that you yourself may be able to inflict by means of these things can be no satisfaction, no indemnity, no reparation to the one who is no longer here. You will be acting for the living, Miss Faulkner, not the dead, for your own satisfaction, your own gratification, your own revenge.
I understand from this and other things that a marriage is contemplated.
It is quite true.
I cannot give up what I intend to do, Mr. Holmes. There are other things beside revenge. There is punishment. And if I cannot communicate with the family to which this man proposes to ally himself in time to prevent such a thing, the punishment will come later. But you may be perfectly sure that it will come. There is nothing more to say, Mr. Holmes. Good night.
But my dear Miss Faulkner,
Mr. Chapman, there's a lamp in the kitchen, sir. It fell off the table and now everything down there is blazing, sir.
Oh, Fred! Keep calm, Fred!
don't alarm yourself, Miss Faulkner. There is no fire.
No fire.
The smoke was all arranged for by me.
Arranged for? What does this mean, Mr. Holmes?
That I wanted this package of letters, Miss Faulkner. I will not take them, Miss Faulkner. As you no doubt conjecture, the alarm of fire was only to make you betray their hiding place, which you did, and I availed myself of that betrayal as you would see. But now that I witness your great distress, I find
got them, have you? And now I suppose we're going to see you walk out of the house with them.
No, you're going to see me return to their rightful owner.
Yes, I think that would be the safest thing for Mr. Sherlock Holmes to do.
Flatter yourself, Mr. Larrabee. The reason that I do not leave the house with this package of papers is nothing to do with you or what you may do, or say, or think, or feel. It is solely on account of this young lady. It is a matter of constant regret to me that my chosen profession involves me with an underworld, most of whose members are not gentlemen. But although Mr. Larrabee may not understand honor, I feel certain that you do. Allow me to place this in your hands. Should you ever be so generous and so forgiving as to wish to return this to the one who wrote it, you have my address. In the meantime, you may rest assured there will be no more cruelty, no more persecution in this house. For I have so arranged it that your faintest cry of distress will be heard. Good night, Miss Ford. As for you, sir, and you, I beg you to understand that you continue your persecution of that young lady at your peril.
Well, he didn't get the stuff, did he?
He gave it to her.
What? He found it and gave it to the girl? What do you always say? What are you waiting for? Now's the chance before she joins it again. Gee, what's the matter? You want to lose it?
No, you're right. It's all a cursed bluff.
But Jimmy, he said.
No, I tell you we will. Now's our chance to get hold of it.
Well, I should say so.
What's that?
Someone at the door, Judson.
Beg pardon, there is no one at the door, ma'am.
That's all, Judson.
He's got us watched. What we want to do is leave it alone. Let the eye infer it.
Do you mean Professor Moriarty?
That's who I mean. Once let him get at it, and he'll settle it with Holmes pretty quick. Meet me at Leary's, 9 o'clock in the morning. Don't you worry. I'll tell you the professor will get him before tomorrow night. He don't wait long either. And when he strikes, it means death.